Hey guys, so the league start is upon us and we still don't have basically any info about the passive tree changes, support changes, etc, etc. But I tried to, with the best informations that we have right now, cook around Hollow Palm today and simulate a character that I am going to link as a path of building link in the description as well. And I tried a lot of skills. You see, I use Stormwave here as well. And like the gameplay right now is something that I can tell you guys you can expect at day 3 with decent gear. And it is okay to play. I just want to tell you guys, I am going to play Hollow Palm because I want to play something new and fresh. And I don't play this league to reach like some level 100 goal or to become the richest in a trade league, etc. I just play for fun. And I am telling you guys, with all the knowledge I have right now, I doubt that Hollow Palm is the build to play to be rank 1 on the ladder or to make the most money. I am also not going to start it. I want to tell you guys a little bit about it. So, by the way, basically what you're seeing here, Stormwave, is something I use a lot of times now. Also, this is not the final version. The final version has both heralds. Stormwave is actually kind of a savior of this build, and when you sometimes or often can like sustain power charges and when falling thunder is spammable. I am, however, not going to start this. I'm going to start maces and play Bone Shatter into Perfect Strike in the campaign and try to reach like level 70 or something. The reason for that is that I play hardcore. I'm not saying it's the best for Monk. However, I play hardcore, and in hardcore, it is really, really, really a maker or breaker if you have 150 strength throughout the campaign or you don't. 300 extra life is insane. Being in Act 3 with 700 or with 500 life is a big difference, for example. And that's why like slams just work on Monk. They are like okay, and I'm going to play them, but I'm not saying it's the best. In softcore, it's probably totally fine to do crossbows and bows. For that, you can just look up guns guides and crossbows. I think Jungron played it. And yeah, I'm going to play mazes, as I said, and then I'm probably going to play Lightning Spear. Yeah, like the upside is Lightning Spear is a very similar tree to this one here. No, you can just play crit stuff and evasion ES, and you're like vibing with both abilities basically. And then eventually I'm going to farm gear, and then I try to swap for Hollow Palm. I expect that to be the case late Sunday. So league start is like Friday evening for me, right? And then I try to like on Monday give you guys an update. And if I was like a viewer that wants to play Hollow Palm, I would urge you to not start it. Do not raw dog it. I personally think it's going to be not good. It is way more gear dependent than a lot of people think, and I would not tell anyone to actually start at day 1. Maybe I can show you guys some other map, the decay map here, and then I'm like, obviously there is some tech for power charges and all of that stuff. I'm not going to go into giga details on everything. Yeah, this one. So here I swapped to double herald. You can see the clear is kind of satisfying. So you palm, and when you are storm waving, my frames were really low here, and I realized I'm playing with like 18 frames, so I tilted and made pause at rand. But this is a little bit the gameplay you can expect on day 3 if you are able to get as much gear as I do. Like on softcore trade, obviously everything is a little bit different. When I say day 3, I mean me playing hardcore trade. Day 3 is kind of the gameplay I expect. And you can see, what you have to think about here is the damage will be kind of a damage that I have here, but the speed will be twice. Sounds kind of good, like the attack speed that is, but that also means you have to fix mana, which I hope that the leech will be enough. Like there is this new keystone on the tree. Let me actually show you guys. Like there is a keystone on the tree right here at this position, and they remove one of these travel nodes. So this is just one travel node, and then you can pick up the keystone that gives you mana leech based on elemental damage as well. And like there's a suffix on rings. I think I don't have it on either of them. But there's a suffix on rings that is giving you mana leech, right? Physical damage leech this mana. You get one of those suffixes on rings, for example, and you just take the keystone. I hope that mana is sustained, but like take it cautiously. You know what I mean? And yeah. The reason why I think Falling Thunder, because it makes no sense, right? Falling Thunder is a slam skill that consumes charges. Why would you want to play something that gives you like half of what you get as more attack speed, right? Well, the reason for it is there is just no better skill. It is what it is. Nothing else actually has single target. Out of the quarter staff abilities, nothing else. Just like what I found out, has actual single target. I think Falling Thunder is the best. And again, like you guys saw the rings I just showed you. Like the rings on this don't have flat damage, but I have a weapon, right? And I kind of want to show you guys the single target real quick here as well, because yeah, it is doable. So here I'm like starting a breach to get some power charges, and just look at the boss bar when he's spawning. Right now, here. I was actually shocked by this damage because it was really good. But yeah, the ceiling for this build will be that you will never one-shot T4 bosses. I made some path of building stuff, and like this is like somehow the damage that I had in that clip. With like this is a little bit more, but like 4 million will be reachable pretty easy, but you're not gonna get your 35 million with Falling Thunder on unarmed, I'm pretty sure. But if you guys don't need to one-shot T4 bosses, and I genuinely am not sure which build will be able to do that, maybe both, but yeah. Like outside of actually one-shotting T4 bosses, we will be kind of fine day 3 gear. And day 3 gear for me means a helmet with like 500 ES. And maybe some people think, wait, that's insane, that's impossible, blah, blah. Yeah, it is kind of insane, but it does not like have runes. So this is just triple T1, like something around 500 ES helmet, something around hybrid body armor. Like maybe it's also Monday gear. I will just try to get as close as possible to this, and some decent jewels. I very quickly will rush through the stuff custom crits. You can just kind of copy paste everything that is in here. It's a very good power charge sustain during mapping, feels good. Obviously, you want to quality everything. Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ice, we want to have both. Both help clearing. At the beginning of that not DK, augury map, you saw the heralds in action kind of well here. Like look at like they are not self-chaining off each other, but they are definitely supporting each other. And when you see that I palmed, like I teleported to the enemies, right? And after that I so that is the Shattering Palm. After that, I'm Storm Waving. Shattering Palm will have 2 more supports when I put it into the description with POB, by the way. Also, anyone that wants to try it as well, feel free to come into my stream. I kind of have a goal to Monday evening present a Hollow Palm working builds that you guys can then play. Anyone who wants to help me out, anyone who tries themselves earlier as well, like feel free to come to my stream, and then we can cook together a little bit. But yeah, double herald for clear, obvious, Falling Thunder. So this is just for the calculation. One of like you have a melee part and then 1 projectile hits, right? So I put them twice into the POB for full DPS calculation, but you don't equip them twice, right? Falling Thunder, self-explanatory. For this one, there's Blindside here. This is a dead support gem while mapping. Kinda. So what you want to do is probably use Blindside only when you are doing pinnacle bosses, and you can swap out a salvo, for example. But close combat like is good because you kind of want to have a damage to kill rares and all, but technically also is not like my favorite support gem for mapping. But usually when you are Falling Thundering close combat while mapping, like you have projectiles that spread everywhere. You saw that in the Sandspit map that I did earlier, right? Or that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. Yeah, I think close combat is fine. So I would do this swap for mapping always. Okay, this swap for mapping. No? Salvo, Blindside. Salvo, very important for mapping because that actually gives you screen wide clear. And yeah, this is something that will be there with Lightning Spear. So again, I basically am stupid by telling you guys do not play my build because Lightning Spear and Lightning Arrow is probably better clear. But I think it's workable. Infernal Cry, kind of self-explanatory, got nerfed a little bit. I will arrange these support gems in the POB with their importance. So on top is the most important one, and then as you progress with Jeweler Orbs, you can change stuff. Stormwave. Only thing important to know about this is you want to be in the face of an enemy, and the upheaval is a support gem that is like LMP for this ability. Like 2 additional fissures are created, but you deal less damage, less attack speed with shotguns, however. So to get chains going with your heralds, you basically want to be in the face of enemies. For that, you Shattering Palm to them. And Shattering Palm is like priming enemies to freeze explode a little bit. You can feel about it. Charge Staff is something that is decent for mapping, and I can recommend, but you never want to use that while bossing. While bossing, maybe I can find that point in the VOD real quick as well without it being 10,000 years long, or this is another build. So bossing is pain. What you will see here is I do the weapon swap sacrifice tech, and that's what you kind of have to do. But you can also see my spirit is very high here, so this is like not perfectly min-max and all of that shit. But what you kind of do is you storm wave with a boss to blind him and to get shock chance. I'm not doing anything before that. No? Blind shock chance. So he's shocked now. Now you Infernal Cry while you have your 7 power charges up. You Infernal Cry, and then you do your Falling Thunder. And this one didn't crit. This will never happen next patch, because on this I just didn't have 100% crit chance, but with Hollow Palm, as the big upside, you will always crit, because you will go up to like 19 base crit eventually. And I am here on 12 base crit, just to be clear, right? Like there's a lot of crit chance I'm missing. And then you can see when I need to like get my charges back, it is becoming a little bit cringe. I weapon swap to then sacrifice minions again, and it takes an eternity. And yeah, then I shock him again, blind him again, Infernal Cry, and then I don't crit again, and I am dying of despair. And then maybe someone is asking, why is he even suggesting this build? Because if it crits, it is like decent damage. You saw 2.6 here. I think I had one in the end that is a little bit more attractive. No, that was another. No, never mind this one. So this is kind of what I expect after like a few days of in a trade league, when you have like decent gear. This is the damage that you can kind of expect. This is good damage for maps, no question. Even with map boss difficulty, we're going to vibe in maps. Mapping will be fine, but you're not going to have a build here with Hollow Palm that will ever be able, probably, and I mean, there can be interactions I'm not aware of yet, but you will probably not have the damage to get the last leaks. There was this Serpent Fury. No, I don't know the name, like the spear ability that consume frenzies. That's not the damage numbers you can ever expect here. But yeah, you get a decent ignite as well because of Infernal Cry. And yeah, that's about it. If like for now, I would just take the POBs from the description and take it from there. I'm going to link my mace, lightning spear, and my Hollow Palm thing ideas, but I want to talk about one last thing before I actually leave the stream. And that one last thing is there are a few techs existing, theoretically, that might become good. As you guys can see in my POB, I have a belt that is called Darkness and Fraud. What I'm hoping for a little bit is there are charms with a 15% chance to not consume an empowerment. And you can get 2 of them in your gloves by corrupting and getting 2 sockets, plus 2 in the Stygian Vice. Plus the new Ruthless support will also have 30 additional chance. However, so technically there is some tech that empowered abilities do not consume charges or empowerments. This will hopefully, or I think, work with Fist of War, which is 30% more damage, 20% AoE. This will work with Infernal Cry and with Enraged Warcry. And Infernal Cry is going to be like 30% of damage as extra fire, Enraged Warcry is 30% more damage. If this will be something, if it happens, potent. Yeah, we have to test it. We have to see how accessible the Stygian Vice will be. Like, what is it? Darkness and Throne will be from the new league and all. But keep in mind, there might be some cooking going on. There might be some stuff that we find. If we can run around and Falling Thunder every time ancestrally boosted, every time Infernal Cried, every time 30% more damage because the Infernal Cry consumed 10 rage, mapping will be giga. Yeah, it will be insane. Yeah, it will really, really, really feel good. And Yeah. So when do you want to swap? Try to get decent rings with decent damage. Like if I remove one of those rings, I'm like at 4 mil. So if you have 2 rings that combined have like as much flat damage as this one ring does, that's probably completely fine. Another thing that I wanted, one with a storm will work, probably. This is very annoying, but it's isolation. Isolation is expensive. And it's suffering. Suffering is expensive, and disgust is like, okay. But anoint is really, really huge with that one. Like, that is the best anoint by far. Storm Charged is another good anoint, and that is the cheap version, basically. Anything else, you can just take increased attack damage, increased crit chance, increased crit multi, so damage bonus, energy shield, or maybe also stun threshold. Okay, this is actually kind of fine. So this is a decent anoint as well. Stun threshold based on ES, element threshold based on ES, like all of that stuff is good anoints. And you want to have decent defensive gear. Do not swap earlier, or do it at your own risk. Eventually it will work, and it will hopefully be fun. So yeah, enjoy League Start, and I will hopefully see you guys again Monday, and then I can hopefully present you guys a build that will work. I will start Hardcore League, Hardcore Trades. If I die at a bad point, I will, however, just continue in Softcore. Because it's more important to me to get the build work than to actually play Hardcore. I don't have any specific goals this league. And yeah, that's it. Bye. Enjoy League Start.